Hello. I'm really glad you're here. Today, I want to talk to you about something that might seem distant or impossible when you're struggling with addiction, but something that I believe could be the key to your freedom. Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese concept that translates roughly to a reason for being, or a reason to wake up in the morning. It's the thing that gives your life meaning, purpose, and direction. And I know what you might be thinking. I'm just trying to get through the day without giving in to my addiction. Purpose feels like a luxury I can't afford right now. But I want to suggest something to you. The absence of Ikigai, the absence of a compelling reason to wake up, might be one of the core reasons you're struggling with addiction in the first place. So let me walk you through this concept, not as abstract philosophy, but as a practical framework for building a life you don't need to escape from. A life where addiction loses its appeal because you have something more meaningful pulling you forward. Before we dive deep, let me explain what Ikigai actually is, because it's often misunderstood in Western culture. Ikigai is traditionally visualized as the intersection of four elements: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. When all four of these align, you've found your Ikigai, your reason for being. But here's what's important to understand. Ikigai doesn't have to be this grand, world-changing purpose. For many Japanese people, especially in Okinawa, where the concept is deeply rooted, Ikigai is often something simple and daily. It might be tending a garden, making tea for your family, playing with your grandchildren, creating beautiful pottery, teaching children, caring for neighbors. These aren't necessarily careers or life-changing missions. They're the simple things that make life worth living. And this is crucial for you to understand right now. You don't need to find some enormous, earth-shattering purpose to begin your recovery. You need to find small reasons to wake up. Small things that make today worth living. Small activities that give you a sense of meaning, even if that meaning feels modest. Because here's what I've learned in my years working with people struggling with addiction. When you have something meaningful to wake up for, something that makes you feel engaged and alive, the pull of addiction weakens. Not immediately, not magically, but gradually, consistently, powerfully.
Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. What does your addiction give you? I don't mean the temporary high or the momentary relief. I mean deeper than that. What role does it play in your life? For many people I've worked with, addiction fills a void. It fills the space where purpose should be. It fills the hours that feel empty and meaningless. It fills the gap left by the absence of something worth caring about. Think about it. When you engage in your addictive behavior, what are you escaping from? Often, it's not just escaping from pain or stress, it's escaping from emptiness, from boredom, from the gnawing sense that your life doesn't have direction or meaning, from the question that haunts you when you're alone with your thoughts: what's the point of all this? Addiction becomes your answer to that question, even though it's a terrible answer. It becomes your reason to wake up, or rather, your reason to stay numb, to stay distracted, to avoid facing the deeper emptiness. I see this pattern constantly. Wake up feeling empty or anxious, go through the motions of the day without real engagement, feel the void growing as the day progresses, fill that void with the addiction, feel brief relief followed by shame, wake up the next day feeling even emptier, and repeat. This cycle isn't just about physical dependency or psychological habit, it's about existential emptiness. It's about not having a compelling reason to live differently. And this is where Ikigai comes in. Because Ikigai doesn't just help you resist addiction, it replaces it. It fills the void with something real, something sustainable, something that actually nourishes you instead of depleting you. When you have a genuine reason to wake up in the morning, when you have something you're genuinely looking forward to, when you have a sense that your life has meaning and direction, the addiction loses its appeal. Not because you're white-knuckling your way through resistance, but because you're being pulled towards something better. Let me break down how each element of Ikigai can support your recovery and help you build a life worth living. Number 1. What you love. Passion. When was the last time you felt genuine joy? Not the artificial high of your addiction, but real, simple joy. For many people struggling with addiction, this question is painful because it's been so long. Addiction has a way of dulling your capacity for natural pleasure. Everything else starts to feel flat in comparison to the intensity of the addictive behavior. But underneath that dulling, your capacity for joy is still there. It's just dormant. Finding what you love is about reconnecting with that capacity. It's about remembering or discovering what makes you feel alive in a healthy way. This might be creating something with your hands, being in nature, connecting deeply with other people, learning new things, physical movement or sports, music, art, or other creative expression, helping others, caring for animals or plants, cooking or making things, solving problems or puzzles. Notice I didn't list your addiction because addiction isn't love, it's dependency masquerading as love. Real love energizes you. Real love makes you more yourself, not less. Real love connects you to life, not disconnects you from it. So I want you to ask yourself, if your addiction disappeared tomorrow, what would you want to fill your time with? What activities have you avoided or abandoned because of your addiction? What did you love before addiction took over? Start there. Even if it feels distant or impossible right now, start remembering what it feels like to love something healthy. Number 2, what you're good at. Competence. Addiction erodes your sense of competence. It makes you feel like a failure, like someone who can't control themselves, like someone who's fundamentally broken. But you have skills, you have abilities, you have things you're naturally good at, even if you haven't exercised them in a while. Rediscovering what you're good at is crucial for recovery because competence builds self-respect, and self-respect is one of the most powerful antidotes to addiction. When you engage in activities where you're competent, several things happen. You enter flow states where you're fully absorbed and time disappears. You build evidence that you're capable. You experience healthy pride. You create something of value. You remember that you're more than your addiction. Your competence might be in practical skills, fixing things, building, crafting, intellectual abilities, analyzing, writing, strategizing, social skills, connecting with people, mediating, teaching, physical abilities, sports, dance, or physical work, creative talents, art, music, design, cooking, organizational abilities, planning, coordinating, managing. And here's something important. You don't have to be world-class at something for it to be part of your Ikigai. You just have to be good enough to enjoy it and to contribute something through it. Start small. What's something you could do today that you're reasonably good at? Something where you'd finish and think, I did a decent job with that. That small moment of competence is a building block for your recovery. Number 3, what the world needs. Mission. This is where Ikigai becomes powerful for recovery, when you connect your life to something beyond yourself. Addiction is inherently self-focused. It's about your pain, your relief, your escape, your high. It's a closed loop that spirals inward. Recovery requires opening that loop. It requires connecting yourself to something larger, to other people, to your community, to causes you care about, to needs you can help meet. This doesn't mean you need to save the world or solve major social problems.
It means asking, what small corner of the world is better because I'm in it? Maybe the world needs your kindness toward the lonely person at work, your ability to make people laugh when they're struggling, your willingness to pick up litter in your neighborhood, your commitment to being present with your children, your skill at teaching something you know, your capacity to listen without judgment, your willingness to volunteer at a local organization, your talent for creating beauty that others can enjoy. When you're meeting a genuine need, even a small one, you experience something addiction can never give you, the sense that you matter, that your existence contributes something, that the world is better with you in it. And this is incredibly powerful for recovery because it reframes your entire relationship with life. You're no longer just trying to get through the day or avoid pain. You're here for a reason. People need you. The world needs you. And that reason makes it easier to resist the addiction, because giving in to the addiction means letting down not just yourself, but the people and causes that depend on you. Number 4, what you can be paid for, vocation. This element is often where Ikigai diagrams focus in Western culture, but it's actually the least important for our purposes. Yes, having meaningful work that supports you financially is valuable. Yes, being able to earn a living through something you love and are good at is ideal. But please don't let the lack of a perfect career stop you from finding your Ikigai. Many people in recovery are not in their ideal job situation. They might be in entry-level positions because their addiction derailed their career. They might be in jobs that pay the bills but don't feel meaningful. They might be unemployed and struggling to get back on their feet. That's okay. Your Ikigai doesn't have to be your job. Your Ikigai can be something you do in the evenings or weekends. It can be volunteer work. It can be a hobby you're developing that might someday become income but doesn't now. It can be the way you show up in whatever job you have, bringing care and quality to it, even if it's not your dream career. The key is, find ways to sustain yourself financially that don't undermine your recovery, and then build your Ikigai in whatever time and energy you have available. Over time, as you strengthen your recovery and develop your Ikigai, opportunities may arise to align your work more closely with your purpose. But don't wait for perfect alignment before you start living with purpose.
So, how do you actually find your Ikigai, especially when you're struggling with addiction and just trying to survive each day? Let me walk you through a practical process. This isn't something you'll complete in one sitting. It's a journey of discovery that unfolds over time. But you can start today. Step 1. The awareness inventory. Get a piece of paper or open a document on your phone. Make 4 columns with these headers. Times I felt genuinely engaged or alive, not through addiction. Things I'm naturally decent at. Problems or needs I notice in the world around me. Activities that have ever earned me money or appreciation. Now, without overthinking it, start filling in these columns. Don't worry about finding the right answers. Just notice and record. Examples might be, I felt engaged when I was helping my nephew with homework. I'm decent at explaining complicated things simply. I notice that elderly neighbors often seem lonely. I've had people tell me I give good advice. You're not looking for grand revelations here. You're gathering data about yourself. Step 2. The subtraction exercise. Now ask yourself, what activities, commitments, or habits are draining my energy and time without adding real value to my life? Obviously, your addiction is on this list, but what else? Toxic relationships that leave you feeling worse? Social media scrolling that steals hours? Commitments you said yes to out of guilt? Perfectionist standards that make everything exhausting? Environments that trigger your addiction? Part of finding Ikigai is making space for it by removing what doesn't serve you. You can't fill a cup that's already full of poison. Step 3. The small experiments. Based on your awareness inventory, identify 3 to 5 small activities you could try in the next week that might have Ikigai potential. These should be simple enough to actually do, not dependent on perfect conditions, ideally involving other people or contributing to something, unrelated to your addiction. For example, I'll spend 30 minutes helping at a community garden on Saturday. I'll cook a real meal for my family on Tuesday. I'll call my friend who's going through a hard time. I'll fix that broken shelf I've been meaning to fix. I'll attend that beginner's art class at the library. Do these activities. Pay attention to how you feel during and after them. Which ones gave you energy? Which ones made time disappear? Which ones made you feel like yourself? Step 4. The Ikigai compass. After trying various activities, you'll start to notice patterns. Some activities will light you up. Others will feel like obligations. Some will drain you. Others will fill you. Your Ikigai compass is the combination of activities and commitments that make you feel more alive, use your natural strengths, contribute to others or the world, are sustainable. You can keep doing them. This compass will guide your choices going forward. When you're deciding how to spend your time or energy, you can ask, does this point me toward my Ikigai or away from it? Step 5. The daily practice. Ikigai isn't something you find once and then you're done. It's something you practice daily. Each morning, identify at least one small thing you can do today that aligns with your emerging Ikigai. One small action that gives you a reason to get out of bed beyond just survive another day. This might be, I'm going to water and tend my plants. I'm going to really listen to my coworker who's struggling. I'm going to practice my guitar for 20 minutes. I'm going to make progress on that project I care about. I'm going to show up for my recovery meeting and support someone newer than me. These small daily practices accumulate. They build a life that has texture and meaning. They create momentum that pulls you forward, away from addiction, and toward purpose.
I want to be realistic with you about how Ikigai intersects with different stages of recovery, because your relationship with purpose will evolve as you heal. Early recovery, survival mode. If you're in early recovery, the first few weeks or months of trying to break free from addiction, your Ikigai might be very simple: survival and healing. Your reason to wake up might be, I'm going to make it through today without using. I'm going to attend my support meeting. I'm going to take care of my basic needs. This is enough. This is valid. You don't need some grand purpose when you're just trying to stay alive and sober. But even in early recovery, you can start noticing small glimmers of Ikigai. The gratitude someone expresses when you show up to a meeting. The satisfaction of cooking yourself a healthy meal. The moment of peace during a morning walk. The connection you feel when you're honest with someone. These aren't yet a fully formed Ikigai, but they're seeds. Notice them. Appreciate them. They're showing you what's possible. As you gain some stability, maybe 3 to 12 months into recovery, you have more energy and clarity to explore Ikigai more deliberately. This is when you can start trying new activities and hobbies, reconnecting with old interests you'd abandoned, volunteering or contributing to causes, developing skills and competencies, building genuine relationships. Your Ikigai is taking shape now. You're discovering what makes you feel alive beyond just not using. You're rebuilding your identity around something other than your addiction. This phase can be uncomfortable because you're learning who you are without your addiction. You might feel like you're starting from scratch. That's okay. Many people in recovery do feel this way. Be patient with yourself. Ikigai reveals itself gradually, through experience and experimentation, not through thinking about it. When you've been in recovery for a while, a year or more, Ikigai becomes less about discovering purpose and more about living it. Your life now has structure and meaning built around things you genuinely care about. You wake up with things to look forward to. You have relationships that matter. You have contributions you make. You have activities that engage you. The addiction might still whisper to you occasionally, but it competes with something much more compelling. A life you've built that you don't want to lose. This is the power of Ikigai in long-term recovery. It's not just about resisting addiction, it's about having something so valuable that addiction can't compete with it.
As you work on discovering your Ikigai, you'll likely encounter some obstacles. Let me address the most common ones I see. Obstacle 1. I don't deserve to have a meaningful life. This is shame talking. Shame tells you that because you've struggled with addiction, because you've made mistakes, because you've hurt people, you don't deserve purpose or joy. This is a lie. You deserve a meaningful life, not because you've earned it through perfect behavior, but because you're human. Every human being has inherent worth and the capacity for purpose. Your past doesn't disqualify you from future meaning. In fact, your struggles can become part of your Ikigai, helping others who were where you once were. Obstacle 2. I don't have time for this. I'm just trying to survive. I understand that early recovery is exhausting. You're dealing with cravings, rebuilding your life, maybe working multiple jobs or dealing with financial stress. But here's the truth. You don't have time not to find your Ikigai. Because without something meaningful pulling you forward, recovery becomes this grim, joyless endurance test, and very few people can sustain that long term. Finding your Ikigai doesn't require huge time investments. It requires small, intentional choices about how you spend the time you already have. Instead of scrolling on your phone for 30 minutes, tend a plant. Instead of isolating in front of the TV, volunteer for 1 hour this week. Instead of rushing through breakfast, make it a mindful ritual. These small shifts create meaning without requiring more time. Obstacle 3. I've tried things and nothing feels meaningful. This might be anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure, which is common in early recovery. Your brain's reward system has been hijacked by addiction, and natural pleasures feel flat in comparison. This is temporary. As your brain heals, your capacity for natural pleasure returns, but it takes time, often 90 days or more. So keep showing up for potentially meaningful activities, even if they don't feel rewarding yet. You're retraining your brain. The feelings will follow the actions, not the other way around. Obstacle 4. My addiction was my purpose. Now I have nothing. For many people, their addiction became their organizing principle. It structured their time, their relationships, their identity. Removing it leaves a void that feels terrifying. But here's what I want you to understand. Your addiction was never actually your purpose.
It was a false purpose, a hollow substitute for real meaning. Real purpose energizes you, connects you to life, and makes you more fully yourself. Addiction does the opposite. It drains you, disconnects you, and makes you less yourself. The void you're feeling is the space where real purpose can grow. It's uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar, not because it's wrong. Obstacle 5. I'm afraid if I find something I love, my addiction will take it from me. This fear is understandable. Maybe your addiction has already cost you things you cared about, relationships, opportunities, activities. But this fear can become a self-fulfilling prophecy if you let it, stop you from building a meaningful life. The truth is, your addiction will definitely take everything from you if you stay trapped in it. But if you're actively working on recovery and building Ikigai simultaneously, you're creating the conditions for lasting freedom. Your Ikigai won't make you immune to relapse, but it will give you powerful reasons to fight for your recovery.
Let me share some examples of how people I've worked with have found their Ikigai in recovery. Names and details have been changed for privacy. Marcus's story. The gardener. Marcus struggled with alcohol addiction for 15 years. When he got sober, he felt completely lost. His entire social life had revolved around drinking, and without it, he didn't know who he was. His therapist suggested he find something to care for outside himself. On a whim, Marcus started a small container garden on his apartment balcony, just tomatoes and herbs. Something about watching things grow captivated him. He expanded the garden. He started giving away produce to neighbors. He volunteered at a community garden. He took a horticulture class at the community college. 3 years later, Marcus works part-time as a groundskeeper and spends his free time teaching gardening workshops for at-risk youth. His Ikigai emerged from those first tomato plants, connecting him to nature, to community, to growth, to contribution. He told me, when I was drinking, I was destroying things. My health, my relationships, my life. Now I grow things. I bring life instead of death. That feels like redemption.
Let me give you some specific, practical ways to incorporate Ikigai thinking into your daily life, especially as you're navigating recovery. Morning Ikigai ritual. Before you get out of bed, take 3 deep breaths. Then ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do today that will make me feel alive? What's one way I can use my strengths today? What's one contribution, however small, I can make today? Write these down or just hold them in your mind. These 3 intentions give your day direction and meaning. The Ikigai journal. Keep a simple journal, physical or digital, where you track, daily, one thing that made you feel engaged or alive today. Weekly, one activity you want to explore for Ikigai potential. Monthly, reflection on patterns, what's consistently bringing meaning. This helps you notice and amplify what works. The energy audit. Once a week, review your activities and notice what gave you energy, what drained you, what made time disappear in a good way, what left you feeling proud or satisfied. Then make small adjustments, more of what energizes, less of what drains, where possible.
The contribution practice. Each day, do one small thing that contributes to someone else's well-being. Help a colleague with something. Send an encouraging message. Pick up litter you didn't drop. Let someone go ahead of you in line. Share knowledge that might help someone. Really listen to someone. These micro-contributions build your sense of mattering, which is essential for Ikigai. The craft practice. Identify one activity you can practice regularly that involves creating something or developing a skill. Cooking, drawing, writing, playing an instrument, woodworking, knitting, coding, gardening. Commit to practicing this regularly, not for perfection, but for the satisfaction of incremental improvement. The gratitude Ikigai connection. Before bed, identify 3 things. Something you're grateful for today, something you did well today, even if small, something that made today worth living. This trains your brain to notice meaning and builds positive associations with living purposefully. The flow state of being absorbed in meaningful work. The satisfaction of contributing to something bigger than yourself. The pride of developing competence. The connection of genuine relationships. The joy of seeing your impact on others. These natural highs don't have the intensity of addiction's artificial highs, but they're sustainable, they're real, and they don't come with shame and consequences. Over time, your brain adjusts, and these natural rewards become genuinely satisfying. Morning decision point. Every morning, you face a choice. What kind of day will this be? Without Ikigai, the choice is often, will I give in to my addiction today or will I resist? With Ikigai, the choice becomes, what meaningful thing will I engage with today? The focus shifts from what you're avoiding to what you're moving toward. This is psychologically powerful because approaching positive goals is more sustainable than constantly avoiding negative behaviors. I want to expand your thinking about Ikigai beyond just your personal recovery, because one of the most powerful aspects of this concept is how it connects you to community and purpose beyond yourself. Ikigai in relationships. Your Ikigai can be profoundly relational. It might be being the parent your children deserve, supporting your partner through their challenges, reconnecting with family you've hurt through addiction, building genuine friendships based on authenticity, mentoring someone earlier in recovery. When your Ikigai involves other people, you're accountable to more than just yourself. You have witnesses to your progress. You have people who believe in you and count on you. This web of relationships becomes a powerful safety net in recovery. Ikigai in community service. Many people find their deepest Ikigai in service to their community, volunteering at shelters or food banks, supporting recovery organizations, environmental cleanup or conservation, mentoring youth, elder care, animal rescue, community organizing. Service gets you outside your own head, connects you to people, gives you perspective on your problems, and creates tangible evidence that you matter. Ikigai in creative expression. For some, Ikigai is about creating and sharing beauty or truth, visual art, music, writing, dance, film, craft, performance. Creative expression allows you to process your experiences, share your perspective, and contribute something unique to the world. Many artists have found that their struggles with addiction, once they're in recovery, become source material for profound creative work that helps others. Your Ikigai might be the pursuit of knowledge or skill, becoming an expert in something you're passionate about, earning a degree or certification, mastering a craft, developing a new capability, sharing what you learn with others. The process of growth itself can be deeply meaningful, especially when you're building capabilities that serve others. Ikigai in legacy. What do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? For some people, Ikigai is explicitly about legacy, breaking cycles of addiction in your family, creating opportunities for others, building something that outlasts you, changing systems or policies, passing on wisdom. Thinking about legacy can give your daily choices deeper meaning. Finding your Ikigai is one thing. Sustaining it over years and decades is another. Here's how to keep your Ikigai alive and evolving. Expect evolution. Your Ikigai will change as you change. What gives you meaning in early recovery might be different from what gives you meaning 5 years later. That's normal and healthy. Don't cling to a specific form of Ikigai when it's no longer serving you. Let it evolve. Maintain curiosity. Keep exploring, trying new things, asking questions. Ikigai thrives on curiosity. When you stop being curious, life becomes routine and meaning drains away. Deepen rather than abandon. When your Ikigai starts feeling stale, the temptation is to abandon it and search for something new. Sometimes that's right, but often what's needed is to deepen your engagement rather than start over. If gardening has become routine, maybe you need to grow different plants, teach others, or study horticulture more seriously. Stay connected to why your Ikigai matters. What's the deeper meaning underneath the activities? If you're a mentor to at-risk youth, the deeper meaning might be breaking cycles, giving someone the support you didn't have, creating hope. Staying connected to that deeper why sustains you through difficult periods. Balance multiple Ikigai. You don't have to have just one Ikigai. You can have several that meet different needs. Your work or career, a creative practice, service or volunteering, relationships and family, personal growth. These different domains support and balance each other. Protect your Ikigai. Your Ikigai is precious. Protect it from overcommitment that makes it feel like obligation, perfectionism that steals the joy, monetization pressure that corrupts the meaning, others' expectations that pull you off course, your own tendency to sabotage what you care about. Share your Ikigai. Don't hoard your sense of purpose. Share it. Talk about what gives your life meaning. Invite others to participate. Teach what you've learned. Create space for others to find their Ikigai. Sharing amplifies Ikigai rather than diminishing it.
We've covered a lot of ground in this conversation about Ikigai, but let me bring it back to something simple and personal. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, what will make you want to get out of bed? If the answer is nothing, or I don't know, or just to get through another day, then this is your invitation to start building something different. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to find your perfect, ultimate, life-defining purpose tomorrow. You just need one small reason to wake up, one small thing worth being here for. Maybe it's tending a plant that depends on you, showing up for someone who needs you, making progress on something you're creating, learning something new, experiencing something beautiful, contributing to something that matters. Whatever it is, start there. And then tomorrow, add another small reason, and the next day, another. Slowly, you'll build a life textured with meaning, a life where addiction has to compete with purpose, a life where getting out of bed isn't just about surviving, It's about engaging with something that matters to you. This is Ikigai. This is your reason for being. And I believe you can find it. I believe you can build it. I believe you can live it. Not perfectly, not without struggle, but genuinely, meaningfully, purposefully. Your addiction has taken enough from you. It's time to build something it can't take. A life organized around what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what sustains you. Your Ikigai is waiting for you to discover it, or maybe to create it. Either way, it begins with waking up tomorrow and deciding that today matters, that you matter, that your life has the potential for meaning. I believe this about you, even if you don't believe it about yourself yet. So wake up tomorrow, get out of bed, take one small step towards something that could become your reason for being. Your Ikigai is possible. Your recovery is possible. A meaningful life is possible. Now go build it.